Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and something quite remarkable again from the extraordinary mind of Marty Sears today. This puzzle, unsurprisingly perhaps, is called Connect 4 Draw, and it's based on a hypothetical game where Mark and I play Connect 4 against each other, but nobody wins. The rules are just magnificent. They're just magnificent. And when I went over to Logic Masters Germany, when I saw that I was doing this today, I found that somebody's made some art based on this game. And it's really quite good. It made me smile anyway. And so this is what we're going to be doing. Oh, what I didn't look at is how hard this is. My brain is telling me it might have seen 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty, but I could be wrong. So forgive me if I am, but this is obviously something that everybody should have a go at. In particular, I'm going to send this to my friend Karen, who I don't know if she watches the channel regularly, but when I first started work all those moons ago, we used to have to study for exams at a company called Financial Training, which was based in Angel in London, and Karen and I used to find it quite dull, so we would sketch out Connect 4 boards on pieces of paper and just play, dozens of games of Connect 4 on paper, which you can do, especially if you're bored. Anyway, we used to do that. So fond memories for me, and Karen, I hope fond memories for you as well. And let me know if you enjoyed this version of Connect 4 as much as the real one. Anyway, that's all by the by. I've got some things to mention actually, and apologies to make. So this, what happened yesterday was that we released this puzzle, my solve of this puzzle, which I actually recorded on Tuesday. It's a puzzle called Taiga by IcyFruit. It is the hardest puzzle I have ever solved on the channel. It is an absolute beast, and you can see that because it took me 3.5 hours to solve. So a proper sort of Lord of the Rings extended edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And I apologise for those of you who don't have that much time to spare, but we did run a poll. You did want to see it, so we did release it, but and the reason it didn't go out on Tuesday was that my computer couldn't handle it. So I recorded the video, and that when we record a video, we have the raw video footage, but obviously we have to then add the instructions that you can see on the screen. We have to add the theme music, and that process involves us editing the video in software called Movavi, which then creates the video file we upload to YouTube. When Movavi had to deal with a 3.5 hour video, it was not a happy creature at all, and it took Movavi a long time, many hours to process the video. And then when I did upload it yesterday, it took I think it took 2 hours at my dial-up connection speed for the video to upload to YouTube. So on Tuesday I just didn't have time to get that video I'd made for that day live by 8:30. So we released a pre-recorded one I'd made before on Tuesday, which didn't have Tuesday's birthdays in. Then Tuesday's birthdays appeared yesterday in Wednesday's edition, and today I've got to catch up on yesterday's actual birthdays and obviously today's actual birthdays. So I apologise to all those birthdays I missed yesterday. I hope that's a very long-winded way of explaining what happened, but I will do those now. I'll just make quick mention of the fact that if you are a patron of the channel over on Patreon, do check out our new Sudoku hunt, Where's My Mama? It's going great guns, and it's very popular. The puzzles are all doable, definitely doable. And if you do finish all of them by the 20th of February, you'll be in with a chance of winning the competition prize, which is to make a Sudoku video with me. I'm not sure if that is a prize, but some of you seem to want to do it. And in fact, last night I recorded a new video, which should be coming out, technology allowing, with Erin. So look out for that one on the channel soon. Anyway, with that said and done, let's do the birthdays. So these ones are yesterday's birthdays. I'll start with Annika. you turned 25 yesterday, and I know this because your boyfriend Maritz wrote to us and told us that you might like a shout out because you watch all the videos, so thank you so much for doing that. I know that you're over there in Germany, and I think you're doing a degree. You've either done or are doing a degree in physics, which is no mean subject at degree level. So, Annika, I hope that's gone well, and thank you very much again for your support. And I hope your birthday was full of chocolate cake with lots of icing. Now, somebody who I was assured was having chocolate cake, although dairy-free, with lashings of icing, was Carrie, whose birthday it was yesterday. And Carrie, we had a lovely email actually from your husband John. You turned 56, and John let me in on a secret, which I don't think it's very secret, but the two of you met at university, and you have been the love of his life ever since, which I thought was a lovely thing to write. And Carrie, I hope you had a great day, and that the chocolate cake was good. And then also actually in Germany, in Saarbrücken, I hope I'm saying that correctly, Sven, it was your birthday yesterday. This isn't Sven, our programmer, who makes the software that we use, although quite how Sven has done this, I do not know. But Sven, anyway, you turned 35 yesterday, and I hope you had a great birthday. And now these next birthdays are for today. Andrew, I actually heard from two people about your birthday. Your brother Ben wrote to us, and your wife Katie wrote to us as well. And I think, Ben, I owe you a bit of thanks because you introduced both Katie and Andrew to the channel, and now everyone watches, which is the best way. And I was tickled to hear that, Andrew, you sort of curate a list of puzzles for Katie to try based on what you think she'd like. And you're having ice cream cake today, so it's not going to be a bad day for you, Andrew. Many happy returns. Oh yeah, and then the last birthday is Jack, down there in Ballarat in Australia. I know that's your birthday, Jack, because your partner Alex wrote to us and told me that you both enjoy watching. But I have to ask, at the age of 12, I went on this incredible trip to Australia. My dad took my sister and I, and we'd only done short haul flights. We'd never gone anywhere that exotic in any way before, and we had the most incredible time staying with my aunt and uncle and my cousins in Mount Eliza in Melbourne. And I am almost sure that I went somewhere at that age called Sovereign Hill, which is like an old gold mining town that they've recreated, and you can pan for gold. And I remember it to this day, and I think that was in a place called Ballarat. And this could be all absolute nonsense, and forgive me if it is. I was only 12. But if Jack and Alex, if you live anywhere near Sovereign Hill, do let me know. It brought back memories, and many memories of a wonderful holiday and a wonderful day. So anyway, that's said and done. Jack, many happy returns. I hope you have a very good birthday. And with that said and done, now I'm going to read you the rules of Connect 4 Draw by the great Marty Sears, who has again come up with something just ludicrously brilliant. The rules are as follows. Mark and Simon have just finished a game of Connect 4. They are both too clever for each other, and so it resulted in a draw. The board became full of an equal number of red and yellow discs, without either of them managing to get any horizontal, vertical, or diagonal connected line of 4 discs of their colour. So presumably you all know the rules of Connect 4. Oh, you can't really see the... Look at that, you can't see the... So that would be a winning red line. So there are none of those in the correctly completed puzzle. Look at the way, you see our software. It's built on squares, obviously for Sudoku. And yet somehow the Connect 4 board is sitting above the squares, so that it looks like when you're entering the colours, they're entered as circles. This is just, it's amazing what these constructors can do. It says recreate the end board state by colouring the holes red and yellow. The first 2 moves have been shown. So I don't know which one of us would have gone first. That would be the move I would make if I went first. That might be the move I would make if I went second as well. So interesting. Anyway, next part of the rules. Fill the discs with the digits 1 to 7 so that no digits repeat in any row or column. Now, Connect 4 boards are not square, are they, as we can see? Yeah, so look at the columns there. There are only 6 rows. So in any column in this puzzle, we're going to be missing a digit from 1 to 7. But there are 7 columns in every row. So every column will contain all of the digits 1 to 7, and every row will contain all of the digits 1 to 7, and every column will only contain a subset of the digits 1 to 7. Then it says arrows. A digit on an arrow disc indicates the total number of discs in the indicated directions combined that match its own colour. The arrow disc itself isn't included in the count. So if that square was a 4 and it was, I was going to make it blue, what on earth, let's make it yellow, then in these squares, in those squares, there have to be 4 yellows exactly. And what we couldn't do is make a Connect 4. So those 3 couldn't all be yellow. So let's make those yellow and that yellow. Whoops, and then I hit green. So let's do that. Is that valid for this clue? I'm going to say so. I think that's valid. I think that is valid, and I haven't broken the rules of Connect 4. So that's just an example of how things could work. Oh, can't get that deleted. Oh, there we go. Right. Red discs. 2 orthogonally adjacent red discs must be of different parity. So 1 odd digit and 1 even digit. So if those 2 are both red, yeah, one of these is odd, one of these is even. And just to deal with orthogonal connection, what does that mean? Orthogonal connection means it looks like a domino, basically. These are not orthogonally connected. They are diagonally connected, which is not good enough for an orthogonal. Oh, whoopsie! I can't see the cursor very well with this. So an orthogonal connection basically looks like a domino. And yellow discs, 2 orthogonally adjacent yellow discs must have a difference of at least 3. So if this square was a 1, this would have to be 4, 5, 6, or 7 in order to qualify. So it's a sort of variant on German whispers, if you know that rule. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play Let's Get Connect 4ing. And okay, well, normally what I do with arrows puzzles is I look for arrows that can't point at too many digits, like this square, i.e., whatever colour that is, there could only be 2 of its colour to the right of it, so that must be a 1 or a 2, I think. If it's a 2, it can't be red because there would be a line of 4 reds, which would win the Connect 4 battle. Oh dear, that's got to be 1, 2, or 3 by that logic, hasn't it? Oh, okay, that's true, but that definitely can't be 3. Sorry, that's totally obvious. If that was a 3, then all 3 of these would be red, and instantly red would win, and that's not allowed. So that we've got a 1-2 pair in the bottom row, so this arrow must be interesting now. That's got to be, well, it's got to be a 3, because it can't be a 4, because then we'd have a run of 5. If this is 4, we're saying all 4 of those are red, basically, because that one's red, and we get 5 reds in a row, so that's definitely wrong. That's got to be 3. Now, if that's red, this would have to have, what is it, different parity? If that's red, that has different parity, so it would be a 2. So it would go 3, 2. Don't know. It doesn't feel impossible, does it? If that's red, it's of different parity to this. Which... So then there would have to be a red here. Yeah, it would have to go 1, 2. And then what would that be? Would we know or not? Oh, I'm not sure. This is already discombobulating me. I'm going to just fill in that with 1, 2, or 3 on the basis. Well, no, again, that can't be 3, because all of those would then be yellow, and that would create a nonsense of yellows, or a surfeit of yellows in a row. So I feel like I want to know the colour of this. I want that to be yellow on the basis just of Connect 4. It looks a more natural Connect 4 thing for it. I wonder how Marty made this. I wonder if it was based on a real game, or whether it was just... Oh yeah, so I wonder if he made it by playing a game of natural Connect 4, in which people were, each side was definitely trying to prevent the other side from winning at the same time as winning themselves, or whether it's been, created from a Sudoku perspective. I would love to know. Okay, what's this digit then? If that can't be too big, can it? Because again, that's going to create too many yellows in this row. So 1, 2, 3, but not 4. That's 1, 2, or 3. And then, now I don't know what to do. If that's 1, that's 2. And wait a minute, that doesn't feel like that works. If that's 1 and that's 2, then they have to be of different colour, don't they? And I don't feel that can work. Is that right? Because now it's saying there's 1 red in this direction, which couldn't be this one, because that's saying that there would be 2 more reds in this direction, so you get 4 reds, and all the numbers would be wrong. So there must be a red in one of those, but that 2 is saying that can't be true. So that's clearly wrong. So this is 2, this is 1, this is 1. Now, see, the problem is that could be red now, couldn't it? Because it would be a different parity to this one. That can't be a 1. Oh, right. This one can't be yellow. Because if it was yellow, it should be at least 3 different from this one. So that is red. And that's interesting, because now surely these 2 digits have to sum up to 3, I'm going to say. Because there are 3 discs. This one is red, so it's not counting this one. So they're both effectively counting these 3 squares. So they should add up to 3, and that's a 2. Now, I want to say no checkerboards, so that's got to be red, but that might be total gibberish. If this is... If that's yellow, all of those... No, okay, that's definitely not yellow now. If that's yellow, all 3 of these are yellow, and that should be a 2, and it's not, so that's red. So there are 2 reds to come. So how does that work then? If this is yellow, then one of these is yellow. And if this is red, then that red would have to go in the corner, wouldn't it? Because otherwise... Otherwise we would be in a world of trouble. We'd have 4 in a row. And this has to be different. No, well, we don't know, because if that was yellow... Hang on, no, that can't work. Hang on, no, goodness. If that's yellow, the 2 doesn't work. It's really obvious once you ask the right question and see the right consequence. But if that's yellow, what we're saying is that one of these 2 is yellow. So there are 2 yellows in those 3 squares. And yet there need to be 2 reds in those 3 squares. And there are only 3 of the squares. So we couldn't make those things simultaneously happen. So this is red. But now I've got to play connect 4. Those are definitely yellow. Yet this one needs to be secured. So that's red in the corner. Feels like it deserves a song. Definitely feels like red has made an advanced start here, and yellow has been up against it in Connect 4 terms. Oh, hang on, what's that digit? This is a 4. Right, here's an easy win. That diagonal has only got 5 cells on it, yet this digit can't be 1, 2 or 3 by Sudoku, so in theory it's 4 or 5. But if it was 5, all of these squares would be of the same colour, and yellow would have dominated Connect 4, because it would have connected 6 on the diagonal, which is definitely a win. So that's a 4. And therefore... No, that's not true. No, it is true. No, it is true. Sorry, yeah, this 4 is still quite difficult. Because don't forget, we're counting 4 on that diagonal. So exactly 4 of these green squares are yellow, such that we don't create a line of 4 yellows. Well, if this was red, then those would all be yellow, wouldn't they? So that must be yellow. And now we're in a world where 3 of these have to be yellow. So if this was red, then we'd have connected 5. So that's definitely also yellow. And I feel like now 2 of these 3. So again, if this was red, we'd connect 5. So we connect 4. So that's got to be yellow. And now it is ambiguous. We don't know what these are. One of each to complete that clue. This one is complete. That it sees a yellow there, so those 2 have got to be red, and that's lovely because that 2 clue now works as well. So the 1 and the 2 clue work, which is what we'd hope would happen if the puzzle's going to work. That cell's probably not able to be 4, is it? Yeah, look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 is its maximum count on the diagonal. But if it was 4, we'd have a run of 5 reds on the diagonal. So that's got to be a 3. And we can probably play the same game now that we played before. So those squares, 3 of them have to be red, such that we don't create a run of 4 in a row. So we can instantly see this one must be red, otherwise we would create a run of 4 in a row. And 2 of these, that's not so good. Yeah, so then 2 of those greens have to be red, but that's fine. So that's 2 and 1 is how they shuffle apart. Oh, there's a beeping. There's a very, very angry beeping. Oh, sorry, that was quite exciting. What's this one then? That one. Well, okay. This one is a 2. But I don't know what colour it is. I might know what colour it is when I think about it, but it's a 2 because it sees 2 yellows and 2 reds in the 2 directions it's looking at. So it is a 2. how do I know what that is? If it was red, this would be different parity, so it would be 5 or 7. What about that one? That one is 4, perhaps. That's a 4. Sorry, yes, this has been available for ages. This is a 4. Because look, it's looking at 5 cells. So in theory it could be a 5, but from a Sudoku perspective it isn't 1, 2 or 3, so it is 4 or 5. But if it was 5, all of these would be yellow and we'd have a big problem. We've almost got a big problem with it being 4. Oh, the 1 and the 4. Oh, look, yeah, the 1 and the 4 had to be 3 apart at least, and they are. But now in this direction again, let's play the same game. 3 of these have to be yellow. So we can't have these 3 being yellow, so that one must be yellow. And then 2 of the so then we're in it's the same world we were on that diagonal one, where this is a 2 and a 1 split. And we're getting sort of odd discs up in the top row, which is presumably useful in some way or other. So now I'm stuck, am I? What's that digit? This is a red digit, so it's got to have different parity from an odd digit. So it's even, but it's not 2 or 4, it's 6. And that's great, because now I know the colour of this digit. Because if that was red, it would have the same parity as the digit below it. So that's now yellow. And if that's yellow, the 3 clue here is now interesting, because those 2 are now red. And now this clue means these 2 are both yellow. And now I really want that to be yellow. If I was playing Connect 4, I'd make this yellow in a heartbeat. That feels like a winning move. But yeah, no, I can't view this as a sequential series of moves, because that is not what we're doing here. We're getting to an end state. Actually, we're getting to an end state where there's an equal number of discs as well. So we're going to have to bear that in mind, because that's classic Marty, is that's what we'll have to do at the end. 5, 6 and 7 into the bottom row, as 5 and 7 into the row, whatever. I'm not used to counting the rows in Connect 4. Row 5 has 5 and 7 left over. So if this was red, it would have to be a different parity. It would be 6. And if it's yellow, it's got to be 3 different from that, so it would be 7. So it is never 5. There is a tiny deduction. So 5. So 5 in the bottom row, look, is in one of those squares. And 5 in this row is in one of these squares. So none of these squares can be 5. So that cell can't be a 5, which is counting well, it couldn't have been a 5 anyway, because it would have broken Connect 4. So that's 1, 2, 3 or 4. I don't think there's any point. No. Oh, what's this? Because that sees 3 on the diagonal. So it's at least, it's 3 or 4. 3 or 4. If this is red, it's 4. If this is yellow, it's 3. Oh, what about this one? Single arrows. That's where I should be focusing, isn't it? So single arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 or less. So it's 1, 2 or 4. It can't be 5 because it's got 2 colours on the diagonal. So it's 1, 2 or 4. If it's 4, it would have to be red. And that doesn't work. If that's 4, it has to be red because there's only enough room for 4 reds, not 4 yellows. But the way that you get 4 reds would actually create a line of 5 in a row. So this is 1 or 2, which makes it more likely to be yellow, frankly. If it's red, all of these turn yellow, and we get the magic move. Yeah, sorry. And the reason that's the magic move is if you got to play this, how would red stop you winning? Red would have to simultaneously play this cell and this cell at the same time, which won't work. Red. That actually, that is an interesting cell. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but that can't be yellow for a rather wonderful Connect 4 reason. I mean, yeah, that must be legit. It must be legitimate for me to make this point. Because if that's yellow, you can't complete. If that's yellow, you can't complete the grid. You can't complete the grid and it be a draw. So that is legitimate for me to do that. Oh, this is sick. Right. Nothing to do with Sudoku. Ignore Sudoku. Just ask yourself from a Connect 4 perspective, if the end result of this grid is a draw, is it possible for this square to be yellow? And I think the answer's no. And the reason I think the answer's no is I think there's a problem here. Because if this is yellow, then clearly to stop a Connect 4 you have to do a red here. But now this square can't be anything. You can't fill the grid, because if it's red I've got a line of 4 reds, and if it's yellow I've got a line of 6 yellows on the diagonal. Oh, that's so... If that's intended, oh, it probably is intended, it's Marty. It's Marty, it probably is intended. That is so ridiculous. That's one of the best things I've seen. Well, I've seen. It just is. That is so gorgeous. Right, so this by Connect 4 is red. And therefore that is yellow to avoid a Connect 4 in that direction. So there's something going on there, though those two are now orthogonally adjacent. That's a 3 or a 4, I think. No. What's this? Okay, well, it sees 2 of one colour and 3 of another at the moment with this ambiguous. So it's 3 or 4 by count. But the only way it can be 4 is if this square is red, i.e. making this red and 2 and 4 of the same parity. So it cannot be 4. It's always 3. It's always 3. But do I know its colour? If it's red, then this is yellow. Oh, well, okay. It doesn't matter what colour this is for the purposes of the colour of this one. If this is red, it's already reached its quorate. It's got all its 3 reds, so that's yellow. If it's yellow, that's yellow to make it quorate on yellow. So that's all. This is always yellow. And that has to be at least 3 different. So that's 5, 6 or 7. This has to be at least 3 different. Oh, no. Right, this square is where we should have looked. This square is at least 3 different from both 4 and 2. Well, 4, it could have been 1 or 7 in theory. But obviously it can't be 1 because 1 and 2 are too close together. So that's 7. This isn't 7. This is 5 or 6. This is probably where we look next. But let me just think about this. Have we got any Connect 4 possibilities we can use? And do I know what colour this is as a result of that? Well, I don't, but I know what that is now. That's a 4. So this is red by dint of making sure this 4 reaches its count. This is just genius. It's genius setting. These squares are therefore 5, 6 and 7 by Sudoku. Right, okay, what's this? This is counting yellows in both directions. So the maximum, well, the maximum count is not achievable. 1, 2, 3. The maximum count is 4, but that would create a connect 4. So it's a maximum of 3, and it can't be 2. So it's 1 or 3. But it can't be 1. It's already seeing 2. I feel like I've made a mistake there. It sees 2, so it's at least a 2. It can't be 2, so it's at least a 3. And it can't be 4. Oh, that's right. Okay, so it's 3. So this is 6 by dint of the fact it's got to be a digit that's 3 different from 3, and there are only 2 digits that meet that criteria are 6 and 7. So that isn't 6 anymore. This digit has to be then 3 different again from 6. So it's 1, 2, or 3. So it's 1 or 2. There's a 1, 2 pair in the top row. So that digit feels difficult to fill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 7. So if it was yellow, this would have to be 7. Oh, what's this corner digit now? Because this diagonal's completed. It's 2. It can't be 1. There's no colour on this diagonal that only appears once. So that's yellow in the corner. No song. This is a 1. So this digit is now 2 or 5, I think. So it's ambiguous parity, annoyingly. I feel like there's going to be loads of diagonals I haven't used here, so I really should. What about that one? Yeah, do you remember this one from right at the start? There was only one red on this diagonal, and that's been available now for a while, so that's yellow, I think. That really didn't do anything. That's so underwhelming. I've got this terrifying looking circle to think about as well. It's looking in all sorts of directions. Ooh, look at that. That's yellow, to avoid a nasty little red diagonal there. I feel like I'm playing the yellow pieces, to be honest. I want yellow to win, even though it's meant to be a draw. Yeah, I think red's playing a more pencil marking game, and yeah, it doesn't appeal to me. I'm yellow. There, I've said it. Now, I'd like to know what that is. If it's yellow, that's 6 or 7. This digit must be under more pressure now. Yeah, does that have to be 3, or am I miscounting that? It's not 1, 2, or 4. It can't possibly be 5, or we're going to connect 4. So that's 3, but that is a different parity. So we don't know what colour it is, I don't think. And but if it's 3, it can't be. It must be yellow, mustn't it? Because say it was red, we couldn't get to a count of 3 reds, so it is yellow. So this digit is now 6 or 7 in the corner. This digit is 6 or 7. Oh, this is better. This digit is 7. That's the only digit that can be so far away. So this is 5, this is 7, this is 6, this is 5 in the corner. That's a 7. So this isn't red anymore, because it would be the same parity. So that's yellow in the corner. This this has to be red to avoid a yellow win. Boo. Okay, is that good? Those two have to be different parity now. There's probably all sorts of things that we're meant to do at this point. And I'm probably not seeing them. That's a 5. Sudoku, not really coming to. Oh well, that can't be yellow now. They wouldn't be far enough apart. So that's red. So this is even, and is 4 by dint of the fact it can't be 6 or 2. So that's a nice win for the good guys. So 2 in the second row has to go there. That has to be a 1 by Sudoku. So this can't be yellow now because it would be too close to 2. So that's red. What about that one? If that's yellow, it would be far enough away. If it was red, this would be odd. Which, oh no, it could be 1 or 3. Okay. I'm not sure about that one. What about this one? 5, 5, 6 or 7. But if it was, no, if it's yellow, it's okay. If it's red, it's okay. No, that's okay. That's not how to do it. Okay, let's have a look at this one. I haven't looked at this yet, but I do know quite a lot about various yeah, okay. So from a Sudoku perspective, it's 1, 5 or 7, but I don't think it can be 1. Because if it's 1, it can't be 1. It sees 2 yellows beneath it, so it can't be 1 from a yellow perspective, and it sees loads of reds in its row, so it can't be 1. So it's 5 or 7. 7 might... Well, I don't know actually. If it's 7, what colour does it have to be? 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't be yellow 7, definitely. I'm just going to double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there are only 6 possible discs that could be yellow. So if it can it be 7 if it's red? I don't think. Oh, maybe it could. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I think either colour is a 5 here, which is going to be good actually, because that's going to make it red, and it's going to determine this. I'm just going to double check red again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it can't be 7. It's 5. Now, if it's 5, I don't think it can be yellow because it would be too close to the yellow above it. So it is red, and now this has to be different parity. So that is 2. Oh, so that's 7. That's 6. That's 5. 2, 3, 6, 7 into these squares. I'm going to pencil mark them. I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to. Now, do I know the colours of any of these? Yeah, yes. That being yellow makes that yellow in order to get to a count of 3. So we've got 3 yellows in a row in the top row, so that has to be red. Now I've got to, this has got to be yellow to avoid a winning red run, which we certainly are doing, given that we're really playing as yellow. Look, yellow's nearly won, so unfortunately that's become red. But oh dear, now what do we do? We could pencil mark, but I don't want to do that. Okay, have we done this clue now? Yes, we have. 1, 2. Yes, it's correct. It does see 3. It does see the correct number. Have we done all the clues? Surely not. No, this one we've not done. That's red. Oh, nearly. Red nearly won. Okay. So these are different parities. So this one has to be yellow, doesn't it? Otherwise those two are the same. If this red, those two are the same parity. So that's yellow. This 3 means that's a 6 apparently. So this digit is 3 or 7. This can't be 7 because it would be next to 6 and they wouldn't be far enough apart. So that's 3. 3 and 6 could be close together though. What about this column? We need 4, 5 and 6. So 4 or 6 into this square, which would work if it was red and wouldn't work if it was yellow, because it would be too close to this one. So that is red. But that, no, it doesn't tell us what this one. Oh, that one's 5 by Sudoku. It sees a 6 in its row. I just didn't see that. Right, so this is a 1-4 pair. And do I know what that is or not? I'm not sure. Do I know what that is? How are we going to resolve these last few thingies? I know what it's trying to make me do. It's trying to make me pencil mark them, and I'm just so not going to. Oh, or am I? What do I need? 1, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, that's a 1 or a 4, and that's red. Oh, but it's got 2, 1 of each parity, hasn't it? Which is annoying. Oh, that's also 1 or 4. Oh, and they would have opposite parity, so that's okay. That's very strange. So if that was red, those reds would oscillate polarity, or oscillate parity, sorry. If it was yellow, they would be 3 apart. Oh dear. So how does this get resolved? It says, looking at this grid quizzically. What's going on? How does this work? Why? Oh, I see. If that's 1, 4, that becomes 6. That becomes 7. Something must be pointing at one of these, or there must be the opportunity for a win. Ah, look at that. That's got to, look at that sneaky little red line. That's yellow. And how does this get resolved? How does that get resolved? If it's in... I'm looking at that. I can't see it being on the lines. I don't know. Oh, it's the oh, Marty. Oh, I know exactly how it gets resolved. There has to be an equal number of the discs. So otherwise somebody's going to get an advantage. So 7 by 6 grid. So there are 42 discs in all. So there should be 21 of each colour. So in yellow, we've got at the moment 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, 18, 20, 21. I think that might have to be red. Oh, you know what? If it's red, it will resolve the deadly pattern because this will have to be different parity. Let's double check. How many reds have we got? 5. Hang on. 5, 10, 16, 20. Yeah, so that's red to avoid, to ensure both parties have had the correct number of moves and it hasn't been an unfair game. And now this has to be 1. Because it's got to be different parity. So that's 4, that's 4, that's 1. And all the yellows seem to be far enough apart. That's just sensational. What a puzzle that is. That is just stunning. Marty C. Oh. Congratulations, you successfully recreated Mark and Simon's anticlimactic game of Connect 4. My goodness me, that is genius. It is a genius puzzle. Oh, I hope that gets all the plaudits it deserves. It's fabulous, Marty. I loved it. There was at that point, was it that square? It was around the middle somewhere where there was the chart. I think it was this one. Yeah, if that one had been yellow, the game could not have been a draw. Chef's kiss. Loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.